Man, do you meditate? Or like where do you go to get deep into your thoughts? Like how you carry it? Because I like to I like to do a couple things, but one of the things I like to do is walk. And man oh man, today this is no I'm not lying. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I think yesterday and today I walked 10 miles each day. Bruh, I got nubs. I walk my feet down the nubs. But the cool thing about walking for me is this moving relationship that I have with the information. So if I have something on my mind, I filter it down in those walks, and it I get to the raw element of why I'm having all these thoughts. So it's kind of like a therapist, or maybe I call it pre-therapy. It's something that gets me to a place where I'm able to understand me in a way where I don't have a pile up crash of thoughts based on unfinished thoughts. Because you could have a pile up. Y'all have a pile up, a thought pile up with no insurance that is going to be better because you were crashing out. One thing led to this thing, led to this thing, led to that thing. And then here you are sitting around looking crazy. And it's because something happened last week that you have unresolved. I don't know. And when I don't know what you go through, but I know that could happen to me. And one thing that I have to do, I have to move my body or these thoughts start piling up, or I have to like express it. Even if I express something, like today, I made a hell of a song. Ooh, sheesh. It's gonna be on my next album, as a matter of fact. My album is coming out. I'm gonna say July. Like, why not? It's almost all the way done and mixed. I just gotta create some cover art. Maybe throw some little in it. But the album's called Does the Past Still Exist? Does the past still exist? Does the past still exist? Maybe it does. Or maybe it's gone and it's time to adapt to new things. But anyway, I made a wonderful song today. And that's how I get some things out too. The art, the whole creative thing, the clothing, the whole get down. I express myself, but I have to walk. And so in walking around the beautiful city of Washington, D.C., past couple days, um, I couldn't help but look at the empty buildings and the changed landscape and wonder, does the past still exist? I don't think so. It might exist in your mind, but everybody holds that space a little bit differently in their mind. And if that's old, then what's current and what's on its way? I don't want you to get too used to what's old to the point where you sign a lease and take up residence in the past. It's good to know where you came from because then you know where you don't need to go back to or what you might need to kind of engineer something back to, the root of something. But I don't want you to sign a lease and get a deed and start living in the past. It's not going to help you. And so as I was taking my walk, I thought a whole lot of thoughts that I'm about to share with you on this episode of Sorry for My Language. Oh yeah. Yeah. We back. We back like we left something. Yeah, man. Shout out to Bobby Joseph. Go to bobbyjoseph.com. Those of you who F with me, you've seen me wear this hat before, but every now and then I just got to bust this joint out because I be feeling real chic when I wear my Bobby Joseph hats. Matter of fact, I ordered a shirt, and it's odd that you're going to catch me wearing something that's not grindstone. It's odd. For those of you who don't know what grindstone is, I'm grindstone. And this show is sponsored by Grindstone Universal. Peep that logo right there. GrindstoneUniversal.com. It's a place where progress is made and truth is revealed. It's the epitome of urban luxury. I'm always dripped out in grindstone. I'll be wearing something exclusive. It's and shout out to everybody who's on the website ordering, man. I love y'all. It's so impressive to me how people from all over the globe order off GrindstoneUniversal.com. It's people out there wearing things that my hands have touched, and it's just fresh. And then they go on date, and they go, and they the ones. You the ones if you're wearing some grindstone. But I'm saying all that to also give props to my man Bobby Joseph. Go to BobbyJoseph.com, cop you one of his rare goods. He's a real one. He's a crafts person when it comes to this. And I always say there's a difference between fashion and merch. Merch is where you get the blank, you heat press the logo on it. You do something basic. Not that that's always bad, but it's just a difference. That's all I'm saying. Let's get to the differences, man. Because that's where the money's made. When you could separate yourself, when you could be unique, you know? And so I was having these, I guess I call them epitomes. No, I don't call them epitomes. Oh my gosh, did I just say epitomes? Epiphanies. Epiphany. Feel like I've been hypnotized. I had epiphanies. Now, a long time ago, I came to Washington, D.C. when I graduated from college, and I came here to live and start my life, get a job, do all the things. And when I got here, I noticed that the lifestyle was moving at a certain pace. And so, with it being at this certain pace, I was like, oh, it's a lot of opportunity in this pace. I mean, the restaurants were lively, the street activity was lively, a lot of beautiful women and upstanding gentlemen, and people were really doing their thing. The music scene, the comedy scene, it was a lot of businesses booming, and for that reason, there were a lot of ancillary businesses that could boom with them. If the club scene is booming, these people need to be dressed fresh. So the clothing scene is booming. The clothing store scene is booming. If that's just an example. But what I'm saying is that Washington D.C. when I got here, it was a really, really, it was impossible to deny the magnetism and the opportunity. It was broke down to the shambles, but everything within the rubble had some jewels in it. But it was by no means fixed up. It was a raggedy, tattered ass city, surprisingly to be the capital city. But within that, it was just so much. It was so many raw human organic minerals. It was so much goodness in it, that you had to see I would always say it was impossible not to come up in DC. Like if you were in DC, how you not gonna come up all this opportunity? So as I walk these streets now, I can honestly say that opportunity, it does not exist in DC no more. You could be maybe more so than other cities, maybe, but I haven't really lived in other cities enough to know. But um people are broke. Let's call it what it is. People are broke. And shout out to you. You're not alone. People are broke because not only is the economy flexing on people, not only are electronics and AI models and other things taking over spaces where people once occupied, but the federal government, which was the stable industry in Washington, D.C., not to mention the underground. We're not even going to talk about the streets being unemployed. Ain't no more illegal, illicit activity in the streets. People might steal from a CVS or something like that, but that ain't commerce. So the streets been dead. But to think that the main industry of Washington, D.C., the federal government, stability of the job market has also died, that's when you're getting into that's when you walk by these stores and these main streets and these buildings, and it's like, it's bad. And so looking at that, it's hard, like, the past existed, but does the past still exist? Ah, maybe in your memories. Don't try to recapture it now, and don't think you're about to pay a bill with it. The past is the past. The past, your stories are held, your secrets are held in the past, but your future is not in the past, at least in this city. And I think that this city is a pretty complete microcosm. It's a solid microcosm of other things. Now, as I'm walking, I'm like, okay, then what is the lick? Where is the bread? Where is the money? Where is the future? Because if something comes to an end, that means something starts. That's how lines work in line segments. Something stops, it's the beginning of something new. So, what is the new thing? And is that unique to DC, or is it unique to America, or is it a global phenomenon that is the new thing? Well, think about the neighborhood that you live in. Look around. Are those stores that were there, are they still there? Are they thriving? Um, are you gainfully employed? Are you going to be gainfully employed next week? Are you starting your own business? Well, if any of these things are questions that might be head scratchers or your answer concerns you, then this episode of Sorry for My Language is for you. I had an epiphany. I am delivering to you the Matrix Breaker. We are in the Matrix right now, for lack of a better term. That's a common term that, everybody can kind of relate to. It's kind of like a word like God. Like, if somebody says God, everybody has their individual idea of what that is, but we kind of are talking about the same area of judgment, right? The same subject. And the Matrix is the same thing. To make a long description short, the Matrix is the invisible limitations that we exist under, and we have a common belief system that keeps us in this invisible lockdown. And we have been taught that, and culturally it exists, and it exists to make the people who are rich and in control to remain rich and in control, and make everybody else feel like we are not supposed to cross these invisible lines in order, not even, you can't even cross these invisible lines in thought. If that's how you live, you are in the Matrix. And it's okay, because I'm here to change that. I'm here to help you with that, because I was helped with that. I was helped with that on my walk. All right, let's get to it. So, if you go to any group of people anywhere, I don't care how old they are, I don't care how young they are, I don't care where you might find these individuals, 80%, if not more, are glancing at their phone, holding their phone, scrolling. Everybody is locked on content right now. Everybody, everywhere. Everywhere where there's a Wi-Fi signal, people are locked on content. Content, without a doubt, is the new Main Street. It's the new Broad Street. It's the new currency. It's the new gold. This is the gold rush. You have to be in the algorithm in order to be self-sustained. Now, there are only two groups of people who this does not apply to. Those two groups of people are people who either do not want to make money, and this is totally your prerogative. People who don't want to make money, people who don't want to further their connections. You know, those like the same. This is the same group. Like I just opt out of making more connections. I opt out of acquiring more resources. I opt out of that. So you're either of that group, or you're of the group of people who has enough money and enough resources that money and that resources and those resources interest make enough for them to not even have to worry about making money, right? And that's the 1% where their money makes enough money and they really don't have to lift a finger, and they don't have to pay attention. So y'all don't have to pay attention to this. But if you're not in one of those two groups, like if your money isn't already making you enough money without you tripping, or if you just don't care about money and furthering your connections with people globally, then if you're of one of those two groups, then turn this off right now. But if you are in between those two groups, you fall in the gap where you're like, yeah, I do need to make money. I am interested in more human connection. I am interested in shining my light to more people more efficiently. Then this is for you. You have to be in the algorithm. I know on one hand, the algorithm sounds like you're getting more into the matrix, but let me tell you, the algorithm is the portal that gets you out. It could get complicated, but I'm gonna keep it easy. Okay. When you're in the algorithm is very similar to the 1970s, 80s, up to around the late 90s landline phone with a listing in the yellow pages, but actually on steroids, because just because you had a landline phone and just because your name was in the yellow pages, it didn't mean that people were going to find you. It means they could find you if they were looking for you. Being in the algorithm is a little different. People can find you if they're looking for you, and people will also stumble across you, and you will be suggested to people. And your crowd will find you. Your crowd will fund you. Your crowd will save you. And now a lot of you might be like, well, I don't need to do that. Like, I have a job. I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. What's stopping you from getting fired? Riddle me that. What's stopping your resources from existing? I mean, it is the job of every business person to streamline their business. And they might love you to death, and you might be good old so and so, right? But if they're running their business properly, they're going to find a system that works without your ass. That's their job. And we're at that time where AI is growing it at a damn near a vertical manner how fast it's going. And so if AI is being developed that quickly, and if systems are being developed that quickly, and if people understand that they can use the iPhone, they can use their tablets, they can use their computers to do the jobs of many, then eventually you don't have to pay as many people. That's just where we are. We have so many models that have developed in the past 5 years that replace the jobs of so many people. And then you also have um, a global market now. So somebody who you'll never meet outside of being online and maybe on WhatsApp or something like that in another country where the currency is different, they can do a job that your whole little sector does, and they could do it for a few $100s a month. So once you gather your crowd, you gather your crowd by existing in the algorithm. and your group of people find you. I used to think that it was something where you would find, you go in here and you find your tribe. Like people say, you find your tribe. No, don't look for nobody. The entry point to being in the algorithm and finding your sustainability is a real low bar of entry. You need two things: a set of interests. You need to be interested in something that you do in life. Anything. I don't care what you do, anything. The next thing, you need a Wi-Fi signal. So those are the only two things that you need in order to jump into the algorithm and become a beacon of light or a point of interest, a cult of personality to your unfound familiars, to your be-alikes, to the people who will say, man, I'm really interested in that person. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to go find them every day. That person's going to be a part of my life. And all you're doing, now I know a lot of you are like, man, I don't have time. I'm not interested. I don't want to film myself. I don't want to talk. I don't want to, I'm just doing my thing. Listen, I know it seems daunting. Even the word algorithm seems crazy. But all you need is a set of interests, which you already have. You do what you do. I don't care if you roll joints all day or if you walk dogs or if you, I don't know, you like to juggle. Whatever it is you do, you like to samba. Whatever you do, you could continue to do that, but press record on your phone every now and then and be like, hey, y'all, I'm trying to learn this samba step. Or, hey, y'all, watch, I just learned how to do handstands. I'm a mother of four, and this is how I make 4 breakfasts in the morning. I don't know, whatever your thing is that you are really into, that you're not afraid to share because you really want to share because that's your thing. Do not hesitate to share. Make it a discipline to press record. Catch yourself doing it. If you like to talk, if you have something to talk about the shit. Share it. People will find you. And the way people express appreciation for a person, their outward expression, they clap, and they spend money with you. That's how humans show humans that they fuck with you. If you are findable in the algorithm, people will fuck with you. And once again, shout out to all my people who go to grindstoneuniversal.com and be purchasing them goods. I love y'all. Y'all really make some things possible that I didn't, before this was a thing. I used to have suitcases in my trunk with clothes, and I would have to unzip it in front of people and show them everything. And that was cool. That was the algorithm. That was pop in the trunk used to be the way that I would build my community. But I had to be there. So if I wasn't there, the people way over there would never know. On the algorithm, I could still make what I make. I could still do what I do, but now you're playing a global game. And it's so easy to be global. Now, let me tell you how this could work for you. First of all, I would highly recommend that you have a TikTok account and that you have a YouTube channel. Just start there. Just make it simple. We don't even want to get too and if you're a writer, say if you're like, I don't want to be seen, but I have things to say, then I recommend that you are on Twitter, which is now X, and Substack. Substack is a place where you can write big, long shit, and people who are on Substack like to read a lot. And so that's the place for the writers. But what happens is your consistency will it will make them start believing in you. And just face it, as human beings, we like consistent. We believe in consistent. And it could be lame as hell, but if it's consistent, we start to believe in it, right? And that's exactly why advertisers put commercials on when they can afford them. They put commercials up often because the more you see something, the more consistent it is, the more that just becomes a part of your fabric. So these things that I'm mentioning are free. They're freaking free. All right. Not to mention Twitch if you're streaming or something like that. It's free. So you get on there, you share bits and pieces of what it is that you do because you're doing it anyway. You know, right now you might be taking up somebody's time like, hey, watch me do this, or check this out. What you think about this? You know, you might be on the phone you talking to one person at a time, but you could just talk to this camera, you could talk into this microphone and talk to several people at once, and you gather this community. Next thing you know, you got 10,000 people really heavily fucking with you. Now, the way I boiled this down, it's going to be about around 2% of the people are going to really, really like you. Out of the 10,000 who pay attention, it's going to be about 2% of those people. So that was 2% of 10,000. It's like 200. So say 200 people are really going to fuck with you, right? Did I do that right? Hold up. It's 10,000. 20% of 10,000 is 2,000. 2% is 200. Right. So if you have 10,000 people who fucking with you, 200 people are going to do what you want. Okay. Now imagine if you have 200 people doing what you want. That's a little baby army. And say if those 200 people spend $50 a month, $50 a month with you. Shit, if 200 people spend $50 a month with you, that's $10,000. Damn. I don't know if my math is right, but it's sounding right. Right? 200 times 5 is 1,000. 200 times 50 is 10,000. You could make $10,000 a month and just have 200 people fucking with you. Of you doing what it is that you do already anyway. Man, shout out to that. This is all by you being consistent. Now, mind you, if you have 10,000 people following you collectively on your platforms or whatever, um, you're not making no noise. That's not a lot of people, but a little $10,000 bump every month, that's not bad. That can pay most people's bills, right? So you got your bills covered, and then you got a little something you can slide off to the side. You know, let me tuck that away. Let me knock down some debt. Let me make some investments. You know, you could probably find a little rhythm with something that would only take you maximum an hour a day to fuck with, right? So the reason why you want to do this is because if you don't do this and you are not in one of the previous groups that I explained who don't need to worry about being an algorithm, you are easily replaceable at the job site. Number one. Number two, you'll work yourself you'll work yourself till you ground yourself down to sand. You'll be overworked. And the work that you'll be doing could be the same work that you could be doing, could be getting you more money if you were sharing it with more people. And the other thing, when you overwork yourself, not only do you become physically worn down, but you become emotionally worn down. Why do that for less of a reward? We're in a different era now, okay? The past doesn't exist. It might, and that's the question. Does the past still exist? I think that the past exists for posterity. But if we're looking for security, if we're looking for something that we can hold on to in the future, I think we need to get what's rocking right now. And you need to get in the damn algorithm. If it was the 80s, I'll be like, you need a landline. How are you gonna call anybody? How's anybody gonna call you? How are you gonna be found? If it was the 90s, you'd be like, you need to put an ad in a magazine, right? You know, so this is the way that it's free now for you to go global. And you can just have your own little quirky set of interests. And as long as you're consistent, the people will gather because people are just that fucking curious. That's how it is. So the consistency is the main ingredient. There is no perfect way. There is no perfect way to do any of this internet sharing. There is no perfect way to do any of this. I mean, some people make a lot of money with the phone, filming themselves in the car, speaking on their thing of interest or selling their thing. And see, the beauty of this, with this, you can sell, like once people like what you're talking about, you can have, this is where it gets really lucrative. You have subscription platforms available. Just give you an example. Patreon is one of them, right? So say you got these 10,000 people fucking with you, and then 2,000 people will go wherever you say go. I mean, not 2,000, 200 people say wherever you say go. But then half of those are like, I am super interested. So now you got 100 people on Patreon, right? Willing to pay a monthly subscription to just get your episode first, or to hear or to watch you I don't know, to watch you do an extra set of pull-ups if pull-ups is your thing, or to get an extra recipe from you, or for you to show them your collection of knives, or whatever your thing is, right? Whatever your thing is. You don't have to adopt nobody else's thing. Just do you, which means that you need to have a set of interests. You need to be in touch with yourself at least that much, right? Um, you got 100 people paying you, which is a fairly small community, but we're just saying you just started, right? So you got 100 people paying you, and say you set your price at $8 a subscription. Let's say $5 a subscription. We shooting low, right? You get $500 a month now from just doing what you already do. You just press and record on something and sharing it. And that community will grow, right? Now say it grows tenfold and now you get 1,000 people over it. Now you're getting $5,000 a month just fucking sharing what you do. Now, each and every person with the business, you have got to be sharing what you do or you will remain secret. You're not in front of anybody's face, right? If you don't have a business, you also need to be in the algorithm because your ass could get fired. You might get the email on Friday saying that your last check will be delivered and you need to clean up your desk. That's not up to you. If you stay, that's not up to you. You're in somebody else's operation whose job it is to be streamlined and efficient. I'm telling you what I know. And what I know is we are moving forward super fucking fast right now. So this is the kicker too. Oh my gosh. In an ideal world, your crowd is feeding into you. You're getting paid off the YouTube watch hours. You're getting paid off your YouTube shop. People are buying stuff off your website. People are paying for tickets for things you tell them to show up for. People are, they like you, so they're just sending you. I don't know. You're the dog whisperer, so now they're sending you dog food, free dog food now. You're getting love, appreciation, um, and you're magnifying your cause, right? Like I said, with humans, that usually comes with money. So now you're getting a little money. In an ideal situation, you pay your bills, try to knock your debts down if you got some debts. You got a little extra money, get your cryptocurrency up. Ooh, man, I've discussed crypto on here before, but let me tell you, the SEC, and if you don't know, just do your Googles. The SEC, was that the Securities Exchange Commission? They had a big lawsuit against Ripple. And this was ever since something like 2017, maybe 2018. Ripple is a token in cryptocurrency. Now, if what I'm speaking sounds like I'm talking Martian or something, it's okay. Just listen to me. Ripple is a token in the cryptocurrency world. Ripple is being held back really by speculation on if the SEC was going to can it or not. And then so Ripple had an appeal case on the case that they got that was put on them. Anyway, um, both the SEC dropped their case on Ripple and Ripple dropped their appeal on the SEC. And if you are invested in Ripple, which on the cryptocurrency exchange is XRP, you about to get some bread. It's your turn. You about to see about it. You about to get some. It's about to happen. So just imagine this. You're doing what you do in life, what you really like to do. Legos might be your thing. So you're like, you know what? I fuck with Legos. So you press record on your phone or on your camera, you set your shit up, and then you're just like, now I'm gonna sit on the floor and play with my Legos. I'm gonna put my shit together. I'm gonna build my model airplane. I'm gonna fix my lawnmower. I don't know. You're gonna do what it is that you do. Now you have to be consistent because that's the secret sauce, your consistency. All right. You have to consistently do what it is that you do in life. And when you do it, you record the shit. You share. You share your shine, right? Um, when you do this, you make money. You take that money from doing what you like to do, and then you put it in something that is increasing in value. And right now, I'm just going to say that cryptocurrency is a good look. And it's a couple of them coins that might just fuck around and secure your future. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, just go there. That's where you can see like what train is moving and what train isn't moving. And it gives you all the information. I've done an episode on cryptocurrency, so I'm not going to spend too much time right now talking about it. But I'm just saying you can take a, 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 a hobby of yours and go all into your fucking hobby. Do your thing. You already do something in life right now. Just put a fucking phone in front of you while you do the shit. That's what I'm saying. Like some of y'all might like to sew or something. Like just, share your sewing with people. It don't have to, and it don't overshare. Like don't let it be something that you're like, I don't really want to show this, but he said I should be always sharing. Nah, just give us a little something. But whatever it is, be consistent. So say you take that, then you get some money from sources unknown because this is new to you, right? And then you put it in something, and then your little change turn into a big difference. That's what I'm talking about. That's what me chop about. I hope I'm not talking in circles. But I would just like for everybody to understand that all hope is not lost. So as I walk down these streets and I see all these businesses out of business, I'm like, yeah, having a brick and mortar store is old school. It's the horse and carriage of the money gang. Going to a downtown where all the office buildings are filled up with people and all the lights are lit, that's old school. Okay? Now we are dealing in a global landscape where the people find you. And all you have to do is share with us what your interest and or talent happens to be as you're in it. You don't have to manufacture anything fake. Okay? But what you do is really kind of cool. You just have to start thinking that you are a shining light and you need to stop shrinking your fucking self. Now, this don't mean you need to be a celebrity and you need to be doing fake stuff and you need to get a team and all that. You don't need a fucking team. Just share a little bit, shit. If you have a thought about some shit, put it out there, man. The more that your thoughts are out there, whoever you are, the more one thought doesn't influence us to go one way like sheep. So maybe your opinion means something and maybe it doesn't. Okay. But if there's a way that you feel you can express yourself to be a better person, now you have an outlet. You don't have to get on the phone. I know this. I don't want to talk about him, but I will say we all probably have a person who will call us and talk our talk their head off about some shit that we don't give a fuck about, but that they're really passionate about. That person needs to be talking to the camera, or that person needs to be writing out the entire way they feel about it and submitting that on Substack or Twitter. That person, that person will find that when they do that, people who are interested will find that person. It's a new way. Definitely, definitely if you're Gen X and older than that, it's a new way because maybe even if you're a millennial, this shit is new. But it is super effective, and somehow this goofy shit has become the most efficient thing that can pop you into a new class, a new tier, a new autonomous way to run your life. So I think that you should make it your goal to get 1,000 Patreon subscribers as soon as you can. But in order to do that, you really have to be consistent with your own self. Ain't that a trip? You have to be consistent with who you are and what your mission is, and then share that because authenticity has a place, you know? And doing that it could change your life. Okay. And you need to be here for change. And all of you all who are parents, or say if you're the kid and you're watching this, let me tell you that go to college, get a job. We really do need surgeons, and we need I don't know, whatever the fuck else you are when you come out of college. But it's only a few jobs that you have to go to college for. A lot of y'all are going to college just to have a big ass social experiment, or so it's like a prestigious thing. And what this is what I want to discourage. I want to discourage people to be paying tuition for this social experiment or experience that you'll have in college. And then you come out and you have the letdown of being unemployed because there are no fucking jobs out there. If you're not highly specialized, jobs are diminishing. Okay, so you need to really understand how you can build your own, and all you need is Wi-Fi and a set of interests. It's something that I haven't refined to a fine point, so I would love for people to like poke holes at this and, you know, tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong and why I'm wrong. But I think it's a layup. I think this is the fucking way. Just like how in the 80s people found out in the 70s, shit, probably in the 60s, they found out if I stand on the corner, I could catch traffic going this way and traffic going that way. And if I'm shiny, people will see me and know that I got good dope. And the ladies would be like, and they know that if I stand on the corner, I'm catching four ways of traffic or whatever. And I got good company tonight. Right? That was the algorithm of the time. The algorithm, the place where the algorithm resides, is different now. Okay. It used to be on a BET Jams. It used to be on like MTV. It used to be on a talk show on late night TV, NBC, CBS, HBO. That ain't where people are residing right now. People go in any group of people, they're scrolling on their phone. And you need to be something they scroll across. Because if you're not, what you doing? How they gonna know about your business? How you gonna protect yourself when you get fired? Who gives a fuck about you when you get dropped off by the side of the road by that job who you already know is trying to downsize? Okay, this is urgent information that I'm passing along to you right now. So this is not the near future. This is the current right now. As I walk down the street, as I walk on my meditation walks, on my exercises, I'm just walking around the city, walking my errands. Businesses are out of business. They ain't coming back. It's no reason for them to come back. Shit don't operate like it used to operate. Does the past still exist? I got questions. So while this might have sounded like some George Lucas, Steven Spielberg fantasy, just as recent as probably like 3 years ago, definitely 10 years ago, it is right now. And it's urgent that you get on board right now because this is the way that you can not only survive, but thrive. So get in the comments, tell me what it is where I'm wrong, where your ass is right. And just let me know more. We're building this together. Okay. We're figuring out a way. It's a lot of people silently suffering right now because they had something that was so stable, so promised, and now all of a sudden it's a wrap. Your ass is fired. You don't know how you're gonna keep these obligations up because little Teddy and Timmy and Teresa, I don't know if anybody got kids named that, but they want to still do their activities. How they gonna do their activities? You lost your job, and it ain't a bunch of new ones floating around. How are you gonna fund their lives? How are you gonna fund your life? I know it's not easy. But the hardest part is to think differently. The hardest part of doing this is not what you have to do. That's relatively easy. Press record and play in the yard because you like to fucking play in the yard. Or, you know, press record and fix that engine because you like to do little engine work on the weekends. Or whatever the fuck, That's not the hard part. The hard part is really thinking differently. You've thought this way for so long. And part of it was that parents impressed this upon you. So parents, don't take what you know forward and impress it upon anyone else. You have to understand that you learned things that were probably a little old, but they were probably applicable to your time. But now the time is different. You don't want to teach in a Ferrari world about horses and carriages. Let's not do that. All right. It's cool to learn though, because it's cool to know how far we've come. But that past doesn't exist anymore. So we're taking it to the future, baby. And on that note, I'm totally excited about the future. The idea of being this, you could be this is the best shit of all to those of you all who wanted to live independently. And when I say independently, I mean on your own terms, on your own times as well. But if you ever wish that, now you're getting put down with the responsibility to do something about it. And all you need is Wi-Fi and a dream, a device and a set of interests. So from me to you on Sorry for My Language, I'm Grindstone. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com and check me out. On IG, go to grind_stone. And until we meet next time,